There's a misconception amongst many believers about the righteousness of God, about the holiness of God. There's a huge misconception to think that once you are born again, you can still live your normal life. There's a huge misconception amongst men of God and preachers to think that have you profess His name, He would leave you the same. There are many who say they commune and they speak to the Holy Spirit daily on their beds. And yet even after that they come out the same. If that Holy Spirit you are communicating to is really the Holy Spirit, my friend, within the next 3 or 6 months, something has to change. Something has to change. God has given us the grace to look more inwardly into what He has given us. Not to bestow it before men as gifts of righteousness or pleasures, or I can heal, I can deliver, but to symbolize the fullness of God. As it says in John chapter 1, that at the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. And the Word was God. And the fullness of God dwelt within the Word. He walked amongst many, and many did not perceive Him. He came out amongst His own, but they did not receive Him. We are blind to the righteousness of God. We are blind to the presence of God. We will notice God on this one's life. This one can profess the same thing, and we don't notice God. I would like to ask you, brothers and sisters, to turn your focus on Jesus. Turn your focus on Jesus. So what you're going through might not be the end of it. In everything, God gets glory. In everything, God gets glory. If you turn to Psalms 51, verse 7, I would like to show you a little bit of what happens to you after you become born again. It says, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow." Can we all read that together? Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Go on. 8. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Can you read that part again? Make me We had a few broken bones here. We had a few missing limbs here. Make me to hear your joy. That the bones that you have broken, the situation that you have put me in, that the situation that you have put me in may rejoice. That a part of me that you have broken may rejoice. Don't look at it as a unfortunate situation. Your situation that you are in is not unfortunate. If it was unfortunate, you wouldn't be here. Don't look at Uncle Malcolm and think, okay, you have not overcome what you've overcome yet. And think, God, you have left me. Your soul is in damnation if you are thinking like that. You are a radar for devils if you are thinking like that. God broke his bones. What did Job say to his wife when his wife said, "Can you not curse God and let us get over and done with this pain we are going through?" He said, "You foolish woman, do you only want to accept good from God Do you only want to accept good from God? Is my question today. Somebody come testifies, it's not your answered prayer, so you won't glorify God. Your prayer has not been answered yet, so you won't glorify God. Is he not still good? Is he not still faithful? And who told you he has not answered you? We were sharing in the cell group the other day. We said some of us think, okay, we have prayer requests. We come and we put prayer requests. Next week we come, same thing, prayer requests. Same prayer requests. Your prayer request list is not updated. Month later, same prayer request. What if he answered you and he said no? What if he answered you and he said maybe? What if he answered you and he said wait a little longer? Have you ever considered that? There's a song that goes, I come in the volume of the books, it is written about me, to do your will, oh God. You know that song? You know that man of God? There are things about your life that you know not of. And the Bible encourages us, in all you're getting, get understanding. Get understanding concerning your destiny. You stop comparing yourself to your brother. Get understanding concerning your life. You stop comparing yourself to the next preacher. Get understanding concerning your path and your walk with Jesus. Your prayer request might change. There's something lovely Prophet said the other day. He said that we get too amalgamated and involved in the answer that we forget the answerer. So once the prayer request comes, back to my own ways. You go look for that bottle again. You go look for that cigarette again. Perfect example would be last week before last, we had cigarettes lying here. Did you not notice what happened the Monday after that? For those who declared they are surrendering, smoking. What happened the Monday? Someone came knocking. Are you sure you want to stop smoking today? Don't take your focus off from God. Don't take your focus off from Him. To the preachers, to the ministers, to those who represent God to His fullness, there's a part of you God requires that has nothing to do with preaching. There's a part of you that God requires that has nothing to do with laying on of hands. There's a part of God within you that He wants to draw out. And one way He shows is by purging you with hyssop. Those who can braai, you know mos how you clean a braai stand. Scrap hom met a onion. Hoe sê mens onion in Afrikaans? You scrap hom met a you purge it. We don't like the purging process. You purge it. Why do you purge that braai stand? Dat dit kan geprime word vir die vlees. Dit word geprime mos nou. His purging process starts after you say, Lord, you are Lord in my life. Because it's that when everything goes downhill. But what if downhill is uphill? Have you ever considered that? What if you are inverse and your downhill is actually uphill? There's a part that God requires of you. When He was teaching in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, He said to the men and women He was teaching, for I say to you, 5 verse 20, except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Is the Bible confusing us or what? Because it also says in the other passage that you just need to confess and profess that Jesus is Lord. And He is the way, the light, and the truth. And that's one way of entering into the kingdom. The only way. Later on He says that except your righteousness exceeds the righteousness of the Pharisees. shall not enter. I urge you, brothers and sisters, don't just stop there where you say, I accept the Lord. I make him my Lord. Don't stop there. Go and pursue him until you find his righteousness. Go and pursue him until he is made known unto you. Go and pursue him in the secret place. You who are born again here today, there's 90% of us here born again. Go and pursue him